I'm going to recap this book, but I haven't read it in 2 years. I'm also a pretty bad storyteller, but it'll be entertaining because I'm super dramatic. We're going to talk about the book that got me back into reading. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. It took me probably 3 weeks to get past the first 10 chapters of this book, but once I did, I could not stop reading. And then I read every single book that Sarah J. Maas has ever written. And now I can't stop reading. If you haven't tried it, I would. Unless you want to be like boring and not read, I guess. Our main character, her name's Feyre Archeron. Obviously with her name, the book's gonna have something to do with fairies. Feyre's family is kind of destitute. Her father lost all of their money. They were rich merchants. Now they live in a shack. Her mom is dead, obviously. And Feyre is the youngest of 3 girls. Her father got his kneecaps busted because he owed a lot of people money and he lost it. And he can no longer provide for them. And her 2 sisters, one of them is a raging bitch. The other one is sweet, I guess. Seems kind of dumb. And neither of them help provide for the family. So Feyre provides for everyone, like her mom asked her to on her deathbed, because that's exactly what a good mother is supposed to do. Ask her youngest daughter to provide for the whole family while you're dying. Feyre goes out to hunt. She's like Katniss. She hunts for her family to feed them, sell the pelts, whatever. And she sees this huge ass deer and she's like, oh my god, this is gonna feed us. But there's a huge wolf who's also staring at the deer. Feyre looks at the wolf and she's like, I bet you that's a fairy. And she's like, but maybe it's not. And we're both looking at this deer, and I want the deer. So what does she do? She shoots the wolf, kills it, skins it. Everyone at her house is super excited because, like, they're gonna have money because she killed the wolf and is gonna be able to, like, sell the skins, they'll have stuff to eat, blah, blah, blah. She goes to the market, meets this merchant who will come back in the series. I'm convinced that this merchant is important. She goes to the market, meets her little boyfriend. Her sister's like, have fun. And then when she gets home, this huge like man bear pig thing comes and accuses her sisters of killing the wolf. Because Feyre is supposed to be the least attractive of the sisters, supposedly. When Feyre's like, no, it was me, he looks at one of her sisters and he's like, you sure it wasn't you? Since it was Feyre, he takes Feyre back to his castle. She's forced to live a life of luxury. The man bear pig who takes her is actually a high fae. His name is Tamlin. There's another guy, his name is Lucien. He's a hot ginger. And Tamlin and Lucien have these masks that they're always wearing. And Feyre's like, weird fashion statement, but okay. When she gets to the spring court, she lives in the castle. It's Tamlin's castle. She doesn't know that yet. She's assigned a lady's maid. Her name is Alice. She is so funny. She's like Helen from HR. She gives Feyre advice, rundowns, really helps her get acquainted with the world. Feyre keeps trying to run away, keeps almost dying. You know, it's kind of annoying. If I was in this situation and I like no longer had to fend for a family of 4, I would be so fucking chill. I can't even tell you. You kind of think that she might end up with Lucien. I couldn't remember Tamlin or Lucien's names at this point. Tamlin's got a crush on the girl. He finds out she likes to paint, opens up like an art room for her, like she's 12. She wants to go home. So what she does is she learns about this beast called the Suriel. Suriel loves to gossip. It's like me. It's like a skeleton in a cloak, I guess. She learns how to trap a Suriel. If you trap a Suriel, it has to answer your questions. So she traps one. She's like, blah, blah, blah. I don't really remember what she asked. I do remember it's important. And then it's like, stay with the High Lord. And like, you think that's Tamlin, because Tamlin's a High Lord. I think she knows that at this point. She's like, okay. Suriel means a different High Lord. Then some baddie bads come and like Tamlin saves Feyre. Then it's Calanmai. And it's like a party where Tamlin has to sow the seed of the spring court, aka he fucks. And so does everyone else. Somehow that like renews the spring court magic. I don't know, it doesn't really make sense. Lucien and Tamlin tells Feyre she has to stay in her room and she's not allowed to go. So obviously she sneaks out and goes. And she's like cornered by 3 scary men. This one guy comes and saves her. Feyre's like, most beautiful man I've ever seen in my life. Guess we should store that man in the noggin. His opening lines are, I've been looking for you. This is important. And Feyre finds Lucien. He takes her back to her room and is like, are you dumb, bitch? Like, we told you to stay in your room. And he's like, Tamlin's like horny and like violently horny. And he's like, go to bed. But then Tamlin finds her and he's like, yeah, I had to like fuck someone else, but I wish it was you. And then like humps her leg. Then after that, they like fall in love. He takes her like swimming in a pool of starlight. There's some dead fairies, I guess. And then one day, she is having dinner with Tamlin and Lucien in the dining room where they spend all of their fucking time. All of a sudden, Lucien like shoves Feyre against the wall and glamours her to hide her because someone's coming. It's the super handsome man from earlier, and apparently that's Rhysand, the High Lord of the Night Court, because it's not just seasons, it's also times of day for the courts in the Feyland. Him and Tamlin have a dick measuring contest, and then Rhysand sees a third place sitting at the table, realizes there's someone else there, sees Feyre, asks her name. She says, Claire Bedor. This is important. And then he kind of like scares Tamlin. After Rhysand leaves, Tamlin ends up sending Feyre home for her own benefit, for her own safety. And the rest of the court's kind of like, are you gonna like say I love you? Once Feyre gets home, she realizes her family has been glamored. She doesn't remember she was kidnapped, but they think that she was with a rich aunt. Her family's fortune has been restored. Her sisters are rich again, which like good for them, happy for them. Good for you, Elain. After she's been home for a few days, she realizes that her sister Nesta remembers what happened. So the glamour didn't work on Nesta. Nesta's the one who's a raging bitch. Kind of confusing. After she's been home for a few days, Claire Bedor and her family all die. And Feyre's like, oh, think this is my fault. Gotta go back to the fairies. She's like, Nesta, keep everyone safe. And Nesta's like, gotcha. Feyre goes back to the spring court. Everyone's gone. Everything's fucked. Alice is like, they're all under the mountain in the bad place. The big bad, her name's Amarantha. And Alice is like, don't go there. They're fairies. You're mortal. You're gonna die. You don't have magic. And they do. Alice is like, girl, I know you're gonna do it anyways. If you go, don't give them your full name. Don't make an oath. Don't drink the wine. Feyre goes underground, meets Amarantha, promptly gives her full name, makes an oath, drinks the wine every day for like 3 months. The oath is like a competition. If she's able to pass these 3 trials, like Amarantha is going to free everyone, which pretty good deal. Like Hercules had to do 12. Amarantha also gives another way out of it. She's like, if you can solve this riddle, I'll let everyone go immediately. The immediately is important. Feyre can't solve the fucking riddle. Feyre can't even read. I couldn't solve the riddle. I could barely even remember what it was. Gets through these trials. She's like tortured on the side as well. Rhysand keeps coming to her help. They like make a side oath, and Lucien keeps like kind of coming to her help, but then he does it like very obviously where he also tortured for helping her because he shouldn't be helping her. She finishes the trials. She does. Amarantha's like, well, didn't say I'd let you go immediately. I can let you go at any point in time. And she gets really mad that Feyre bested her, breaks every bone in her body. Right as she's like about to die, Feyre solves the riddle. The answer is obviously love. And then she dies. Tamlin and the other High Lords bring her back to life. She comes back to life as a fairy. She and Tamlin go back to the spring court to be like married and in love, I guess. There's a catch. She has to spend 1 week a month in the night court with Rhysand, the super hot man who saved her at Calanmai and during the trials. And I wonder how that's gonna turn out.